Hello, I'm Vareck, and I enjoy bike commuting in Singapore. For me, it's fun, enjoyable, and a chill way of life. I'm not a super fit person, and I have a driver's license, but I'd rather be on two wheels. Having commuted by bike for 5 years, I've picked up tips and tricks along the way to make my commute more pleasant, and I wish to share them with any new bike commuter. When things are done right, every commute is a Santai bike ride. Let's start by commuting. Firstly, we have the bike. There's no need to get an expensive bicycle. A cheap one under $200 does the job. And spending a little more on one that's around $500 to $750 comes with a significant increase in quality, and that means having less money spent on replacing broken parts. With just regular chain lubrication, it can run smoothly for a long time. Cycle commuting is about getting from A to B with minimal effort, and a bicycle geared for that depends on your needs. Most importantly though, get a bicycle that you like. Bike commuting involves having to carry your barang-barang with you. That means having a bicycle that's heavier and totally unaerodynamic. My favorite setup is a city bike, which includes parts for functional cycling. A kickstand to keep the bike upright, a chain guard to keep my shoes clean when cycling in the rain, and mud guards so that my bag remains dry when going through puddles of water. Dynamo lights that don't have to be charged are also a nice add-on. While the price tag of a $700 bicycle may seem big at first, it's much cheaper than purchasing a car. And if you are using it for short trips in the neighborhood, it's an investment. A bus trip starts at $1.19. Replacing a round-trip feeder bus ride with cycling lets the bike pay for itself in less than 10 months. If you already have a bike in the storeroom, that could be your perfect ride. Next up, we have the clothing gear. Dress for the destination and not the ride. For journeys 5 kilometers and under, it's feasible to wear what you need for the destination. For example, a shirt and jeans. For longer journeys where you would expect yourself to perspire more, stand by a change of clothes in your bag. New office buildings will have end-of-trip facilities installed, including showers. Try using them. Here are some tips when you're cycling out and about. Cycle commuting is different from sport cycling. There's no need to go full power whenever the light turns green. You'd only end up at a red light quicker than others. A breeze when cycling helps to keep bodies cool, and the sweat kicks in when stopped at the red light. Strategize and observe how others cycle and how the signals work. There's a flow when commuting in the neighborhood, and it's mastering the art of route changes on the go and having minimal stops. That saves energy and keeps you cool. When parking a bicycle, just a simple lock would do, such as a frame lock or chain lock. While police advertisements try to advertise U-locks, I haven't really seen them being used frequently. If you are afraid of your bike getting stolen, there are two ways to get around it. First, get a cheap bike so people won't eye it and won't hurt so much when it gets stolen. The second option is to bring the bike wherever you go, also known as a foldable bike, because your bike can only be stolen when you're off the saddle. In this city where it rains 167 days a year, it's important to stand by for rainy days. My go-to option is an umbrella. It works well on my coaster brake bicycle, where backpedaling activates the rear brake. When the rain gets heavier or the wind gets stronger, a raincoat works better, though I prefer chilling somewhere to wait it out or switching to public transport. During the rainy months, using a foldable bicycle instead of a regular one provides this flexibility. Choosing a route is also important. The bicycle is not a car nor a pedestrian. It's a unique way of getting around. While Google Maps can show cycle and car navigation directions, there are often better routes to take. One map shows where cycling paths and park connectors are. As park connectors have pedestrian priority, use them only when they have low foot traffic and minimal dismounting required. Upon finding a nice park connector route, it's always a bliss to cycle there. For cycling paths which are red or grey, it's better to recce and look at how heavy foot traffic is, because pedestrians can walk on cycling paths. Since traffic engineers don't design footpaths and cycling paths based on projected volumes, it's best to head down to find out the ground truth. Main roads are loud and polluted, and it's not nice to cycle on one for too long. Try looking at smaller roads. Those are the perfect ones for cycling. Many roads in landed estates do not have separate cycling paths, but are very safe for cycling because of low car volumes. The only things that make cycling on the road dangerous are volume and speed of cars. With those two reduced, cycling infrastructure is not needed to make roads safer for cyclists. Using routes exclusive to cycling, you might even find hidden cafes and parks that few go to. They are nice places to lepak in. If a long-distance commute is daunting, you can combine trips with public transport. For first and last mile travel, combining a trip with the MRT or an expressway bus is a great choice. There's no need to wait for a feeder bus, and you ride public transport where it's at its fastest. A small foldable that can be tucked under the MRT seat would come in handy. Or alternatively, find a parking spot to lock a full-sized bicycle. Not every trip has to be done 100% by bike, and using other modes of travel is an option. A word of caution though, bike commuting is addictive, so you might find yourself gradually getting off public transport a few stops earlier to cycle the remaining distance. Cycling is more than just getting from A to B. It's a way of life, a break from the fast-paced life of the city, and a new way to move around. A way to enjoy the city at a human pace, traveling in, not through the city. A way to enjoy spontaneity, popping by shops on the go. A way to enjoy a better quality of life, experiencing new things along the way. Bike commuting has been the best thing I did to make getting from A to B more enjoyable. I'd rather do it than take a crowded feeder bus or, even worse, drive in traffic. It has made me healthier, happier, and more relaxed, and made me reconnect with the neighborhood around me. I wouldn't have met several neighbors if I was in a metal box, nor found new people to talk to in cafes. Cycling is a niche way of getting around, and I believe that it's the future of mobility. If you need help, it's best to find a friend who already cycles to bring you along, or talk to people in Bike Commute Singapore. Many bike commuters are kind-hearted and friendly people, willing to help out new riders. As each neighborhood has different shortcuts and preferred routes, talk to a neighborhood expert to find out more. Now it's time to start. Bring out the bike, hop on the saddle, and get going. The first commute is the hardest, and it only gets better from there. Thanks for bike commuting, and I wish you safe and pleasant travels ahead.